Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel and to day 22 of Inktober. And before we jump in, I just want to shout out and say thank you to Carolyn for joining the Geek Adventurers over on Patreon. You're amazing and I appreciate you so much. And if you'd like to join and help support me over on Patreon, you can find me at patreon.com/greatlygeeky. Yes, a shameless plug right here at the beginning. But anyways, aside from that, I also want to let you guys know here on YouTube that I also super appreciate all of you. I've seen a lot of new subscribers over in this last month. That's been insane. Like, I would wake up and see new subscribers and be like, I don't know what to say to that outside of thank you. You guys are amazing, and I appreciate, all of you who have been here since the beginning, all of you new faces coming in, the comments you guys are leaving. Please know that I do see them, I do appreciate them, and I might not always be able to get back to them right away, but I do at some point at least try to acknowledge that I've seen them, and then when I get the chance, I will go back and reply. So it might take me a day or two, but I always try and look back and get a reply and let you guys know that I hear you, I hear your questions, and I appreciate all your sweet and kind comments. And you guys are amazing and fantastic, and I love the art community. It's, keep going strong, keep being creative, and keep being you, because that's what matters. But yeah, jumping into today's video, I chose to do a zombie girl because I couldn't help myself. My husband recently downloaded this app called Monster Girl Maker, and I think he found the ad on Instagram or something like that. But anyways, he got me hooked on it, and it's kind of just a funny, cute little app where it's free. You can choose to buy stuff in the app, which always supports creators, but it's just cute. You put together the different designs and you create your own monster girls, and he had created a green skinned zombie chick, and I was like, I need to do a full-on green-skinned zombie chick. So that's what I did today. And I purposely wanted to do green and purple because I love that color combination. I'll say it over and over again. I love purple. It's funny too, because when I was younger, I was all about green or blue. And now that I'm older, I'll be honest with you, I love every spectrum of color that there is, but if I had to choose a favorite, I would choose purple. There's something about the ranges in purple that, to me, it gets me. I like it a lot. But I will say, so for the lining in this, I did choose to use the Pigment Microns, and I know I primarily use those a lot, and I did use as well some Copic multi-liner, and I actually was going to use another multi-liner, but I'll say this right now: anytime you're going to line first and then lay ink or watercolor or markers or anything along those lines, check the ink on your multi-liners and make sure that it's permanent. A big thing is I was going to use another liner, but when I read it, it was water-based, and there's nothing wrong with that. I do love using water-based, but water-based liners are always meant to be laid after your work has been finished, more so because it's kind of like when you put down watercolors, how you can rework the pigment because it's water-based. And that's the same concept with water-based liners. If you line the paperwork and then you go to lay something that has any kind of fluid, it will rework the pigment in the liners and cause bleeding to happen. And it's just something that I'm trying to give you guys a little tip in that aspect, because I've made that mistake before without realizing it. But I do realize that it is kind of obvious that the water-based liners would bleed, but I know for myself it's always good to kind of have that little FYI, because unless you end up using it and then making the mistake yourself, you won't always think about it ahead of time. Because sometimes, especially if you're like me and you're like, oh, it's a liner, it should work just fine, and then you line and then you go to lay down your ink wash or your watercolor, and then it's like, well, if that just happened. So I don't know, it's kind of how are helpful to have that pre-knowledge ahead of time. And I realize that I can be ridiculous, but I I own it. I love it and I have fun with it. And that's really all you can do, is just have fun, and remember to smile, and remember that life does get hard, and it is hard, and it is frustrating, and it is stressful, and it's busy, and there's so much going on that sometimes you're just like, I have no idea what to do. But you got this, and you can own it, and you are owning it, and you're doing it, and you're rocking it. And even if it might not realize it, things are going to work out, and things are always going to get better. And always remember to wear a smile. And I realized that just kind of took a random turn, but it's true. And I appreciate you guys, and I always want you to remember that, you're amazing, and you're capable of more than you realize. And it might take time, but you'll figure things out, and things will work out in the end. And it might take longer than you have the capacity to wait, but I promise you, just keep working hard, and before you know it, you'll get there. And I look at that even in the aspect of, if I look at where I came from when I first really started dedicating time to drawing, because I've been drawing for a very long time, but I really only started dedicating my time towards pursuing drawing pinups because it's something I always wanted to do, about 6 years ago. And I really started pushing myself, and my husband helped to push me, and I started drawing every single day. And I'll have to pull it out. I have to kind of go through my sketchbooks, but I'll try and find some of my oldest sketchbooks, and I'll tell you, it is night and day compared to how I used to draw to how I draw now. And that's kind of just what happens is, you continue to practice, you continue to draw, even if it's just a little bit here and there, or a little bit every day, like it's one sketch or one thing. Eventually, you'll just kind of figure out your style. You'll figure out who you are as an artist. You'll figure out where your passion and your love is in creating and having fun with it. And, it might not be easy, but don't hesitate to share it with the world, because what you do is amazing. And to you, it might not hold up to what you see other people creating. And at the end of the day, we're our own worst critics. But I promise you, like, what you're doing is amazing. And when you're creating, you're putting part of yourself out there. And that's beautiful. And I know it's hard to see it that way, but it really is. And that's why, I love going on Instagram and seeing what you guys create, and seeing other creative people and watching them grow and develop, because it's absolutely lovely and absolutely stunning to see how creative people get and how just amazing you all are. And I realize I'm going on a tangent, but as always, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate having you here, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. You're amazing and beautiful, and stay creative and stay awesome, because I love it, and I love seeing you guys grow and expand and continue to be amazing. And I hope that you guys have a super fantastic day. As always, take it easy, and I will see you in the next video.